It's a non-conference battle in West Lafayette as Zach Fascia, the Purdue Boilermakers, get set to take on the Big East leaders, and Connor Grammis trying to lead Xavier into the postseason. BTN is on hand tonight at Alexander Field as the Xavier Musketeers are in town to take on the Purdue Boilermakers. We mentioned right at the top of the order, Connor Grammis is really the straw that stirs the Xavier drink.
Well, he's hit the ball all over the ballpark for Xavier, and he is going to be a key part of their offense tonight, but he's definitely a force to be reckoned with, and a guy that the pitchers are going to have to pitch around.
And it'll be an interesting night on the mound, too, Scott Pose. We'll see a lot of pitchers out there. The first, though, is James Kulak making his 6th start of the year, a 2-1 record with a robust 6.65 earned run average. What you like, though, is the strikeout-to-walk ratio for James Kulak.
Well, he's got an excellent strikeout-to-walk ratio. He's got kind of a quirky windup and a slurvy curveball to go with it, but it'll work about 85 to 87. He's got to get those off-speed pitches over, but he will pitch to contact. And what Mark Wazakowski's hoping is that he can give him 3 strong innings, and then they'll go to the pen as they're trying to line up their staff for the weekend.
Yeah, the weekend is what matters for this Purdue team. They've got Ohio State coming up this weekend. They need wins. They need some help. There's a slim chance to get into the Big Ten tournament after their sweep last week at the hands of Illinois. But to get into that Big Ten tournament, first things first, they've got to win games this weekend. So they'll approach tonight with this weekend in mind. First pitch to Connor Grammis, and it's fouled away, and we're underway in West Lafayette. And a beautiful night for baseball. It's really one of the best nights we've had in the course of this Big Ten season. You see the shift on already for Purdue on this 70-degree night with a light breeze at Alexander Field. The 0-1, that fastball misses in to the right-handed hitting Grammis, who leads the team in batting average, runs, stolen bases, hits, and hit by pitch. He is their best hitter, hitting .327 on the year. 2 balls and a strike on Connor Grammis, Jake Shepsky, and Aubrey Major to follow here in the Xavier first.
Analytics have become such a big part of the college game. That is not the shortstop that you see in the center field camera. That's actually the second baseman, Howe, who is shifted over. But Connor Grammis is a dead pull hitter, and he can hit the gaps.
2-1 is a high strike over the outside corner. 2-2 now to Connor Grammis. The 2-2 pitch. And Grammis in on the hands. Muscles this one to Howe. Has to range back over to his original position to make the catch in short right field. And there's one away here in the first inning, and a big one to get out for this Boilermaker defense. They're very good at turning the double play. They're very good at keeping the run game in check.
They do keep the run game in check, and they can play some solid defense. Nissel's in left. Hunter is in center field, and McKenzie is in right. They've got a good outfield that can cover the big gaps here at Alexander Field.
Here's Jake Shepsky out of Homer Glen, Illinois. First pitch swinging. A little twister out to Howe at second base. Flips to first. 2 up, 2 down. Ryan Howe has been busy out at second base for Purdue.
Well, if early contact isn't any indication, Kulak is doing a good job of being very deceptive because he's gotten in on both Grammis and now Shepsky. That fastball is showing some life in on each of their hands. He induces soft contact to the right side.
You've got 2 good defensive teams on the field tonight. Not a bad idea to pitch to contact and let your defense do some work. There's Aubrey Major, 277 hitter, 6 homers, 28 runs driven in. First pitch swinging, and Major chops it to third. Powers with it, throws across, and an 8-pitch inning, and the side is retired. We head to the bottom of the first, scoreless in West Lafayette. Back in West Lafayette, bottom of the first in a scoreless game, and this Purdue offense trying to get it going before the weekend. Cole McKenzie, the table setter, at the top of the order.
Well, he sets the table. He needs to get on base, and they can string some hits together. But that's been the difference for this Purdue offense this year, is that they've got to string a few together to score some runs. They're looking to do that tonight, so they can do that this weekend.
And the man who was charged with slowing this offense down, at least originally, Nick Zwack, in his 10th start of the year, his 18th appearance, a 3-2 record with a 5.98 ERA. And like his counterpart on the mound for Purdue, we don't expect to see Zwack out there too long tonight.
Well, he's going to try to eat up 3 innings as Billy O'Connor is trying to set up that staff. But Nick Zwack has been working primarily out of the pen. He'll throw 85 to 87. He's got a change and a curve, but much like his counterpart for Purdue, he'll utilize the defense. He'll pitch to contact.
And why wouldn't he utilize the defense? It's the best defense fielding percentage-wise in college baseball. 984 fielding percentage. Only 30 errors this year for this team. On the course of the season, excellent number. So here's Cole McKenzie, who has really been a tale of 2 seasons wrapped up in 1 season. March 29 to April 7. McKenzie was just 1 for 23, just an ugly 2-week slump. But over the last 20 games, he's batting almost .420. .312 on the year for McKenzie, and the first pitch is ball 1. Bryce Bonner, Skylar Hunter to follow here in the Purdue first. At batting average 11th in the conference entering play tonight as the 1-0 catches the corner for a strike. Good look at Nick Zwack. Weekend starter to open the year for Xavier, and he made some big starts. Started at North Carolina, started at Arizona State, started at Grand Canyon. 1-1's fouled away, 1-2. We were talking with Billy O'Connor beforehand, and he said his stuff kind of dipped and they moved into the pen. That revitalized him a little bit.
Well, when you're facing teams like that, your stuff's going to dip because those teams can play, and it's kind of worked out for Xavier very well because they had an incredible non-conference schedule, but Billy O'Connor feels it really paid dividends for their Big East season as they're sitting and waiting and potentially the Big East champs.
2 balls, 2 strikes, and the Big East champs occur if Creighton loses 1 time this weekend to Villanova. So talking to Billy O'Connor, said, I know you're a big Xavier fan. He said, yeah, absolutely. He said, are you a bigger Villanova fan? He said, we're huge Villanova fans this weekend. Absolutely huge. 3-2 the count on Cole McKenzie.
It's an interesting scheduling quirk where your bye week is the last week of the season. They are not in the Big East schedule. They're going to go out in non-conference and be cheering from afar.
Playing Cincinnati this weekend is Xavier. 3 balls, 2 strikes to McKenzie. And McKenzie lines it to center. Waiting for it is Luke Franzoni. Makes the catch for the first out.
That's a great at-bat against a non-conference foe, and let me tell you why. Cole McKenzie saw a lot of pitches, and what he did was give his teammates a look at what Zwack's going to be featuring tonight because he got behind in the count, was able to fight back, so he saw some breaking stuff. So did his teammates, and it's nothing but information for the Boilermakers.
Played the role of leadoff man to perfection other than getting on base. Here's Bryce Bonner, designated hitter, junior out of Allen, Texas. He flares it foul and out of play. Been a frustrating year for Purdue, and this offense has just never really been able to get on track this year. They've shown some good arms, in fact broke the school strikeout record this year, but offense has just not been able to get it going. 240 average. And it really comes down to, as Mark Wasikowski told us, just the inability to gap those balls. You have to string together 3 hits to scratch across a run. That puts a lot of pressure on the lineup. The 1-1. Bonner lifts it in the air to right. Playable for Shevsky. A couple of steps in front of the track. He'll make the catch, and there's 2 gone in the first. Well, there is nothing about Mark Wasikowski that is not honest and candid, and he will tell it exactly like it is with us and with everybody else. And he told us the other day, he's just not getting the job done. I mean, it's a frustrating year for him. It's a frustrating year for this Boilermaker program, especially after where they were last year in the postseason.
Well, he really rode a wave where they even got an NCAA win in the regional as they went on and did very well, and the program was on the right track, but they took a step back this year, and I don't think I've ever heard a coach be more hard on himself.
Picked up by Gibbon at short, spins and throws to first in time. Chris Gibbon, a nice play at shortstop. And a 1-2-3 inning in the bottom of the first. They're the #1 defensive team in college baseball, and a first chance to see a good pick by Gibbon. The throw to first to end the first. Scoreless top of the second in West Lafayette with Scott Pose. I'm Kevin Kugler. Our BTN crew excited to be on hand because it's a nice night. So much of our baseball season, the BTN crew's been wrapped up in ponchos, or I know Ike on camera too. I think he was in a full parka earlier this year. Of course, Ike is normally cold-blooded as it is. Matt Warkentin takes the first pitch for a strike at the knees, 0-1. Warkentin given an Altenberger here in this Xavier second inning. Warkentin hitting .279 on the year, the senior out of Ontario, Canada. 7 home runs, 33 runs driven in. The 0-1 chopped foul, and quickly 0-2.
Kulak's done an effective job of pitching into these powerful right-handed hitters for Xavier. He's continuing to do that to Warkentin. Doing a good job of working to his glove side and commanding the inner part of the plate.
Warkentin's reached in 8 straight, but he's only hitting .258 in that span. The 0-2 wants to go upstairs and does, but couldn't get Warkentin to bite on that one, so now 1-2.
Changing the eye level. Look for the breaking ball next.
I will. 1 ball, 2 strikes. There it is. On the ground to the right side. Second baseman Howell up with it. An easy play to first. 4 up, 4 down, and nothing's left the infield yet. Good start for James Kulak.
That's because he's been pitching in. He's been done a good job of commanding that inside part of the plate. It's kept the Xavier hitters off balance, but they can't get extended, and when you hit it off or below the barrel, that's what's going to happen.
Chris Gibbon, the batter, out of Castle Rock, Colorado, the senior shortstop. First pitch swinging, and he chops it foul. 6 for 10 last week against Villanova for Chris Gibbon. And the terrific defensive shortstop now has the average above 300 on the year. 4 homers and 25 runs driven in. He hit .342 a year ago. This will be the 3rd straight year batting 300 or better if he can keep it above 300 by the end of the year as the pitch stays up 1-1. That's pretty consistent hitting at a high level for Chris Gibbon.
And not only that, but anchoring the middle of this defense for Xavier that's leading the country. That's getting it done.
Shift on again for Purdue defensively. You see the second baseman Howell atop the second base bag. That's him in your picture right there. As the count goes to 2-1 on Chris Gibbon.
Yeah, the scouting reports is so advanced. I mean, you'd think they were conference opponents the way you're shifting around each hitter individually, but that's what analytics does now for the college game.
It's only going to get better and better as more data becomes available. The 2-1 swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. Now the difference, Scott, we were having a conversation last weekend with Darren Erstad before a game, and he said the difference is a major league pitcher throws to a spot. That doesn't always happen in a college game. You can set up your analytics and you can set up your defense based on that, but sometimes that pitcher doesn't throw to the spot that you expect him to.
Well, he has an excellent point, but there is a general premise that hitters have their swings, and no matter where you throw it, if they're a dead pull guy, they're going to pull it as it is. But it is to a point. If a pitcher misses his spot, and then you pitch in, you're playing him away, and a guy turns on it and beats your defense, then you got problems.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 down in the second. Given waits, and the pitch hit on the ground foul up that third baseline past Tyler Powers. Everybody's got a plan until they're punched in the mouth or until your pitcher doesn't throw it to the right spot.
Well, used to try to do that, and I can remember being at the higher levels of the minors and major leagues, is that, yeah, they can set up their shift, but you can move around the box to create problems for them. Because if they're trying to get to the outside part of the plate, you climb on top of the plate and you start pulling it into the shift.
Just missed low on the 3-2 pitch, and Gibbon draws a 1-out walk. Didn't miss by much for Kulak, but just down. Take another look at the 3-2 pitch.
Well, Kulak goes with a fastball. It is down, and that's the toughest pitch for a catcher to frame. You saw Fascia catch the ball, then try to bring it up. But when an umpire sees a lot of movement in the glove from the catch to the frame, you're not going to get the call. That ball was down as it was.
There's Ryan Altenberger. .269 average, 5 homers, 20 runs driven in. And a throw over to first to keep an eye on Gibbon, who has 5 stolen bases in 6 tries this year. But we told you this earlier, Purdue one of the best in the country, best in the conference as far as gunning down guys on the base path. Zach Fascia has caught 18 trying to steal. Lifted foul and out of play off the bat of Altenberger.
There's another pitch in. This time Kulak is doing a good job of getting to the inside part of the plate on a left-handed hitter. Really trying to tie up this Xavier team.
Xavier's won 3 straight, hitting .267 as a team that Billy O'Connor says is one of the most talented to ever come through Xavier on the baseball diamond. No balls and a strike on Ryan Altenberger. And time is called. You may look at their 23 and 27 record and say, how can Billy O'Connor say that? Well, there's a very talented team that spent the first 20 games of the season on the road. By the end of this season, they'll have played 39 road games. That's low for ball one. They played at North Carolina. They played at Louisville, at Lipscomb, at Arizona State, at Grand Canyon, at Kentucky, at Texas. Talk about a traveling road show. Xavier went anywhere and played everybody. 1 ball, 1 strike to Altenberger, and throw over to first, and not much of a lead over there for Chris Given. Your record's going to suffer, Scott, when you play a non-conference schedule like that.
It certainly will, but again, you're paying it forward because you get that experience in the year that's going to help you, and look what it's done for Xavier in their conference here, or their schedule. I mean, they're on top of the conference right now.
2 balls and a strike. And Billy O'Connor was telling us before the game, he said, look, that's why we did it, is so that when we got into conference play, we know that's our path to the NCAA tournament, but we got into conference play, there wasn't anything that was going to surprise us. We'll have seen everything, and there will be no more tense spot than a 1-run game in the 9th against Texas. That one skied on the infield. Drifting out is Howe. Coming in is McKenzie, and the right fielder will make the catch. Out number 2 recorded off the bat of Altenberger.
And Billy O'Connor really has that luxury of this weekend, with it being a non-conference series. Yeah, you want to try to win, but they got a conference tournament, and they can set up their staff exactly the way they want it going into it, because as you mentioned, Kevin, that's their way to get in the NCAA tournament. They've got to win that tournament.
Yeah, the focus is on that. They're co-hosting the tournament. It's near Xavier's campus. Big East Baseball Tournament not only has free admission, but anybody who goes gets free concessions. I kid you not. Concessions are free. Tickets are free.
If we weren't going to be in Omaha, sign me up.
I mean, if it's free, it's me. That's why we got into broadcasting, Scott, because occasionally they bring us free food.
Free ballpark food? Are you kidding me?
$2.50 the average for Luke Franzoni as he takes a strike, 0-1.
Hot dogs always taste better at the ballpark.
Oh, and nothing looks better at the ballpark when you're eating a free ballpark hot dog than wearing a free BTN polo like we will next week when we're at Omaha at the Big Ten baseball tournament.
Couldn't agree more.
No balls and a strike. Runner at first is Given, and a painted pitch over the outside corner with a fastball from Kulak. He has spotted well early on here, Scott.
Well, he commands the outside part of the plate here. You see that pitch just perfectly framed by Fascia. Doesn't have to move his glove. Kulak hits the spot. And pitchers love to pitch ahead.
No balls, 2 strikes, way outside for ball 1. You saw in that overhead shot that the pitchers have an advantage right now. Look at the plate area, all cloaked in shadow. And meanwhile, for at least the next hour or so, it looks like the mound will get the benefit of sunlight, so the ball coming from bright to dark around home plate.
It's getting close to that time. Right now, when you need to make your decision as a hitter, the ball's entirely in the sun. Not so bad. But in an inning, it's going to be the worst, because when you have the ball and you have to make the decision, when it's partly sun and partly shadow. But honestly, by the time your mind's made up is that early, before it's even there to that point.
The optimist says partly sunny. The pessimist says partly shadowy. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And a toss over to first. We talk about that all the time on these broadcasts. You're a hitter. You've made it all the way up to the major leagues as a hitter. When you are at the plate, is it a real noticeable difference?
Anything that distracts you from seeing the ball is a noticeable difference. So, yeah, it is.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Franzoni out on strikes. And Kulak able to get through the first 2 with nothing across. Everybody enjoying just a perfect night for baseball in West Lafayette. First pitch is low and away. It's Zach Fascia, Ben Nissel, and Nick Everts for Purdue in this second inning. Fascia, the leadoff man, riding a 14-game hitting streak into tonight. Hitting .352 in the streak. Turned on that one and fouled off 1-1. "17 runs driven in during that 14-game hitting streak. He's got 1 home run as well. You know, it's kind of rare, Scott, to see a catcher at the end of the season get hot at the plate. Especially a guy like Fascia, who has been behind the plate so much this year. As he puts this one into the gap, it'll split the gap and roll all the way to the wall. And Zach Fascia's now got a 15-game hitting streak. Leadoff double here in the second inning.
Fascia continuing to see the ball well. He sees this pitch on the inside part of the plate, gets the barrel right to it, but swings through it, gets that extension, and creates that gapper that Mark Wasikowski's going to love to see this leadoff double. That's been missing from the Purdue offense. But a nice job by Fascia to get that extension and jump on the fastball to get into scoring position right away in this second inning.
And now with the 8th double of the year by Fascia to start the second, the challenge for Purdue becomes getting that runner home. Ben Nissel hoping to do that. Hitting .286, but in very limited time this year. The sophomore has struggled with a back injury. In fact, was out from March 13th, didn't come back until May 7th. And this is a talented hitter. We saw last year freshman All-American. Got better as the year went along, hit .304 overall. The 1-0 swung on and missed 1-1. And as he got through the postseason, he was even better in the regional in Chapel Hill. He went 7 for 11, was named to the Chapel Hill All-Regional team.
I was there to see it. He got a lot of hits in that regional and was really one of the better players and produced a lot for this Boilermaker team. And you saw in that first swing, he was trying to drive that ball to the right side, get his teammate over. Just one of those little things in the game, and that's what Mark Wasikowski preaches. As you get him on less than 2 outs, you find a way to get a ball to that right side. 2-1's normally a go to swinging, fastball count, grip and rip, but Nissel's going to be focused on that right side.
Two balls, 1 strike. Fascia at second, trying to go to right again, and the count even 2-2.
It's a good team baseball. He doesn't get the job done, but the approach is right. You can see that. Now all bets are off. Just make contact with 2 strikes.
And you can see the lunge towards the right, trying to send it to the right side. Purdue trying to scratch out the early lead after the leadoff double by Fascia. And that is a called strike 3. Excellent pitch from Nick Zwack. Froze Ben Nissel. First strikeout for Zwack, and there's 1 away.
Zwack comes in and gets that inside corner. He just rears back and throws one perfectly spotted. It freezes Ben Nissel. Good pitch by the Xavier left-hander.
Here's Nick Everts now. He's driven in 9 this year, hitting .272 on the season. Again, Mark Wasikowski rarely will even address injuries because he doesn't like to use anything that could be construed as an excuse. As this one's bounced through the left side for a base hit. Stopping at third is Fascia. A single for Everts. But Everts is another one of those guys, Scott, that missed a good chunk of time this season with a pulled hamstring. Suffered on April 7th at Nebraska. Didn't start again until May 7th. So it's not an excuse, but it is a fact. A lot of guys have missed time with injury in this Purdue squad this year.
But it makes this game all the more important for specifically those two guys. They haven't a lot of time to get things right, but this gives them another opportunity to get reps to get right before a very important weekend for Purdue baseball.
There's Ryan Howe. Runners at the corners with one out. 231 the average for Howe. Throw over to first, keeping an eye on Nick Everts over there. Everts has not stolen a base this season, 0 for 4. And remember, he's about a week back after being out for a month with a pulled hamstring. Not sure we'll see much movement from Everts over there. But keeping an eye on him anyway is Nick Zwack. First and third, one out. Big opportunity for Purdue in the bottom of the second to grab the early lead. Pitch out. Throw down to third, and no advance from Fascia. Scampers back to the bag. Tali Monastra, the catcher for Xavier, trying to see if he could catch his fellow catcher napping a little bit down there. The 1-0. Mighty cut and a miss, and it's 1-1.
It's that fastball up, very tantalizing for a right-handed hitter against a lefty, but it looks so big coming in there. Your eyes light up. You think you're going to get a hold of it, and it's just tough to catch up to.
One ball, one strike on Ryan Howe. Time is called. Well, you know what Zwack is thinking? He'd like a ground ball at somebody in the infield, preferably second or short. Howe's hit into 3 double plays this year. That would get him out of the inning. Pitch out again. Throw down to third again, and a good play by Jack Hausinger down there at third base. That throw sailed a little bit on Monastra and almost went into left field.
What's the pitch out? Xavier looking for some hijinks from the Boilermakers. None come, so the throw goes down to third. And going to keep Fascia close.
2 balls, 1 strike. And upstairs makes it 3-1. Boilermakers 1 pitch out of the zone away from starting to think about a big inning here in the second. The 3-1 pitch. And he popped him up. Foul territory. Warkentin over there in foul ground makes the catch, and that's a big second out here in the second inning.
Ryan Howe works the count back to where he wants it. 3-1, looking fastball, got it, and just gets underneath it. Enough life on that fastball from Zwack to get in on Howe. He pops out harmlessly in foul territory.
So now 2 down, and Tyler Powers trying to provide a big 2-out hit. Hitting just 136 on the year with 2 outs. Trying to turn that around here and get a little momentum going into a big weekend against Ohio State here in West Lafayette. Outside for ball 1 to Powers.
Pick up a teammate. Come on, Tyler.
Fascia at third, Everts at first. And a snap throw over. Everts back in easily.
GP, stay behind the baseball. Little angle BP. Come on. Come on, GP, pick us up right here.
Zwack set the 1-0. In on the hands, and he floats it into right field for a base hit. Scoring is Fascia. Stopping at second is Everts, and a huge 2-out RBI single for Tyler Powers. 1-0 Purdue.
Tyler Powers got a pitch that he can handle. It was a fastball in, but yet he was able to pull his hands inside and shoot this to right. It's out over the middle of the plate, but he's thinking the other way in the entire swing. Look where that pitch is. It's on the inner half, but he's still able to pull his hands in, shoot it over to right field. It's going to reward him with an RBI in the first run of the game for the Boilermakers. Just a nice job of using the barrel and hitting a line drive.
Boy, what a lift for a young man who'd not had great success in situations like that this year to come up with a big 2-out hit as Evan Albrecht fouls the first pitch back, 0-1. So Tyler Powers delivers, and it's a 1-0 lead for Purdue. The 0-1 pitch to Albrecht. Low. Efforts dancing around out at second base. Has to scamper back to the bag. One ball, one strike. 2-1 now on Evan Albrecht.
It's another fastball count. Albrecht looking fastball, usually middle in. You see it there, put a good swing on it.
Albrecht out of Wisconsin, West Bend High School product. His uncle Bill Albrecht is coach in high school. 2 balls and a strike as Albrecht waits and drives this one to right field. Shepsky battling the sun. He'll make the catch, and the side is retired. But the Boilermakers get it going with a little double from Zach Fascia, planting his stake in second base, finishing it off Tyler Powers with the RBI single. We'll have that whole series for you on BTN as the Wolverines try to grab their first regular season crown since 2008. Aubrey Major leading things off now for the Musketeers in the fourth. At War Kenton, Chris Given to follow against Connor Tomasic in his second inning of work. And it's fouled away by Major, who's quickly down 0-2. Major grounded out to end the first inning. Connor Tomasic, second Purdue pitcher tonight. Kulak went the first 2. Now Tomasic in his second as he goes upstairs with the fastball. 1-2 the count on Aubrey Major. Major at 6'5" out of nearby Indianapolis. The 1-2 and a little looper into left for a base hit for Aubrey Major. Good piece of hitting on a 1-2 pitch by Major to reach to lead off the fourth.
Major gets set early, but he keeps his hands back. Watch him take his stride and identify the pitch, keeps his hands back, and that's down and away. That's a good pitcher's pitch. But a good hitter finds a way to get hits. Major does that. Hits it the other way. Xavier has the leadoff hitter aboard.
And the first base hit of the night for Xavier. Major at first with War Kenton to the plate. Major just 2 for 5 on the base paths as far as stolen bases go. Fastball for a strike to War Kenton, who grounded to second in the second. Big, strong, 6'6", 250-pounder. You see the 7 home runs on the year. He led the Big East last year with 14 home runs. Began his career at Johnson County Community College in Overland Park, Kansas. The 0-1 hit on the ground foul to the left side. Began his career at San Francisco, where he was not only a player but a pitcher. So he has taken the long way to get to Xavier. From Ontario to San Francisco to Overland Park, Kansas. And now at Xavier, wrapping up his career.
There's some big boys on this Xavier team, too. Workington, one of them. Major's big. Graham is his former wrestler.
Swing and a miss. Excellent pitch by Tomasic. Warkentin fooled on the swing, and there's the first out of the fourth.
A well-spotted fastball that's away. Obviously had Warkentin looking in, tries to protect on that pitch away, cannot. A good put-away pitch from the Purdue right-hander.
So Tomasic with his third strikeout. Fourth overall for Purdue pitching. And with one down, Chris Gibbon at the plate. Gibbon reached on a walk in the second inning. Hitting .303 on the year with 4 homers and 25 runs driven in. Led Xavier last year hitting .342. He shows bunt and no advance by Aubrey Major over at first. Fascia was ready to fire down there just in case.
Oh, with a shift on, and if he's able to bunt that ball firmly past the pitcher to the right side, he's going to be waltzing to first base. It's one of the dangers of the shift. So you got the pitcher falling off to the first base side. It's a challenge.
The 1-0 runner goes. Pitch in for a strike. Throw down to second. Major is safe. Just his third stolen base of the year. And a good jump. And outraced the throw from Fascia to the bag. So Xavier with a runner in scoring position now with 1 out.
Major got a good jump, and that long frame allows a long extended slide. He gets his hand just in before the tag.
Scott, you get used to watching runners run on the turf surfaces in some of the parks in the Big Ten. It's so noticeable on the slide on a natural surface like there is here at Alexander Field in West Lafayette. That slide just doesn't carry like it does, for example, at Michigan or Indiana or any of those turf places.
Well, you get on that turf and it's like a slip and slide, and then forget about it if it rains. Then it just really is emphasized or magnified. But on the natural turf, Xavier has a runner in scoring position and 1 out here in the fourth.
And a 2-ball, 1-strike count on Chris Gibbon. And Gibbon hits it to the left side. That is a fair ball. Throw from behind the bag in time. Great pick by Everts over at first on the throw from Powers. On the play, Major advancing to third, but 2 gone.
This is a tremendous play on both ends for the Boilermakers. First by Powers to get to the backhand side. The quick release to get the ball to first. And then Everts with a great pick on that throw.
Well, that is outstanding work on both ends. And a big second out. It's a base running too by Major. Once he saw that throw going to first, he scoots over to third. Now a wild pitch or a pass ball can tie this game as Ryan Altenberger steps in. He fouls it off, 0-1. Purdue fans watching this will hear the name Altenberger and they'll scratch their head a little bit and think, that sounds familiar. It should. His dad Pete, all Big Ten pitcher here at Purdue. 1987 went 8-1 with an earned run average under 4. Foul back and it's 0-2. He's later drafted by the Dodgers. There's Pete Altenberger. Son Ryan trying to follow in the footsteps, but he's another guy who we talked about some of the Purdue injuries. Altenberger has missed some time with injuries this year. He caught his hand on a nail on a fence earlier this year. Just sounds awful saying it. The 0-2, and that misses outside for a ball. I mean, catching your hand on a nail on a fence doesn't sound good in any context. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pitch upstairs, 2-2 to Ryan Altenberger. Connor Tomasic trying to work around the leadoff base hit from Aubrey Major. He's at third with 2 out. 2 balls, 2 strikes. In the air to left, coming on is Nissel. He'll make the catch. And Tomasic works around that leadoff single with no damage done in the middle of the order for Purdue coming up, led by the catcher, Zach Fascia. One run on the board. It was scored in the second inning by Purdue after Zach Fascia led off with a double. He gets on base into scoring position. And that allows Tyler Powers to come home, bring Fascia home with a 2-out run-scoring single. Congratulations at first base. Purdue with a 1-0 lead at that point, a lead they still enjoy as Fascia comes to the plate here in the bottom of the fourth inning. First pitch swinging, and Fascia skies this one foul to left onto the berm. And the mad scramble begins for the Souvenir. Zach Fascia up to 280 after that base hit. And now a 15-game hitting streak. The 0-1. And a strike. Griffin Lanoux came on through one pitch last inning, got Skylar Hunter to fly out to left. Now out in front, 0-2 on Zach Fascia. Way upstairs, 1-2.
Billy O'Connor really likes Griffin Lanoux's arm. He says he could be a strikeout pitcher later in his career in college. He throws 88 to 91. He's got that power sinker and that slurvy, he calls it, breaking ball.
One ball, two strikes. Inside out swing, fouled back by Fascia. As a hitter, what does a slurvy breaking ball look like?
Something in between the curveball and the slider.
Yeah.
I mean, the slider typically is a late breaking pitch that's very close to the fastball. Curveball has that big overhand break, and there's quite a bit of a speed differential in between there. The slurve is exactly what it suggests. It's somewhere in the middle of that. And what a lot of pitchers do will vary the speed on their breaking ball, which gives it more break.
1-2 pitch, and Fascia off the glove of Hausinger at third into left field. And Zach Fascia reaches for the second time tonight.
When you're hot, stuff like this happens, but you get that confidence at the plate like Fascia has and hangs in there, gets a fastball away with 2 strikes, is short to the ball, and hits it hard to third. It's going to be a base hit. That's a tough play for Hausinger at third. That ball's hit on the nose.
Had to play it on the short hop. Had one chance at that. Not an easy chance. It's a good scorer giving a base hit there. 4th hit of the day for Purdue. And Ben Nissel, who was called out on strikes in the second, is up. Throw over to first with Fascia over there.
If you ever needed evidence of why they call third base the hot corner, that last hit would be Exhibit A.
Which is ironic because as we walked into the ballpark today, I said, Scott, I'd sure like to see evidence of why they call third base the hot corner. And now we have it. And a bunt by Nissel, and a good one. Lanoux bare hands, throws to first, and the sacrifice advances Fascia to second. Execution by Purdue. It's been there tonight for Mark Wasikowski's squad, and a runner at second with only 1 out.
This is good execution on both ends, both offensively and defensively. Nissel's going to give himself up and bunt this ball to force Lanoux to field it. But watch what Lanoux does when he does field it. He'll take his bare hand and press the ball into the ground. That's a great lesson for you young players that are watching. Press down, it'll go into your hand. You can pick up and make a solid throw to first. Lanoux does, and both teams execute on the sacrifice bunt.
So 1 down and a runner at second for Nick Everts.
A lot of times on that play, you'll see a lot of pitchers rush over there and just try to pick it up, and then they end up fumbling it. But the best way to ensure against it is to push the ball into the ground. That's why you get a good grip. Well done.
That's something you learn just by practicing it, I would assume.
It's one of the reasons they call it practice.
What are the other reasons, Scott? Check out Scott's blog for those other reasons.
We try and get repetitions to get better at practice.
Runner at second with 1 out. And Everts at the plate. Ball in the dirt. No advance out there by Fascia at second. And as you see, that sun is starting to even out now. The mound's still in sun and the plate almost in sunlight now. So advantage just about gone for the pitcher.
Gone for the pitcher, and becomes a challenge for the fielders now as you fight to try to pick up the ball at the hitting zone, or where hitters are going to make contact, but then also once it gets above the stands here at Alexander Field, trying to pick that ball out of the twilight.
Another one in the dirt, and another good block by Monastra. Testing the catcher back there, and Monastra's been up to the challenge the last 2 pitches.
Hey, have a great play in here. Right? Have a great play in here. Put your ball up in your count.
Bottom of the 4th, 1-0 Purdue, trying to double that lead with a base hit here from Nick Everts. Looking for his 10th RBI of the season. Ball 3 now to Everts. Lanu struggling a little bit here in the 4th. A single, a sacrifice, and now 3-0 to Everts. Taking all the way, that's a strike, 3-1. And now the most important pitch of the at-bat for both Nick Everts at the plate and Griffin Lanu on the mound. 3 balls and a strike. Lanu ready. Fascia at second, bluffs to go, and that pitch sent high in the air to left. Going back is Major, carrying to the track where he makes the catch. And that is out number 2. No advance from Fascia at second, and Everts just got underneath that ball, Scott. Drove it near the track, but not enough to get it out of the ballpark.
Well, he got a fastball up. It's the pitch that he wanted, but they called it a game of inches. He hits just below that part of the ball. Ball stays in the ballpark.
Aubrey Major back there to make the play. And now Ryan Howe, the last hope for Purdue. Tyler Powers came up with a big 2-out RBI single in the 2nd. Can Howe match that feat here? No. 1-0 on Ryan Howe. Fouled out to first base in the 2nd inning. Hitting .229 on the year is Ryan Howe. Fascia out at second. Lanu deals 2-0. Now the freshman out of suburban Chicago, Prospect High School. Been very good defensively, really jumped into that second base role in late March. Made 29 straight starts at second base. Skies this one to center field, playable for Franzoni, who's on the run. It's carrying over his head, and it bounces off the track and all the way to the wall. That ball just continued to carry. Howe sliding in at third with a run-scoring triple.
Howe got a pitch in the middle of the plate, got full extension, and generated some backspin. That backspin allows the ball to carry, as Franzoni was playing shallow with 2 outs in the spacious center field of Alexander Field. A short swing from Howe, but that pitch was right down in the zone, and he did a good job of getting extended and hitting through the ball. He created the backspin to allow the ball to carry.
That ball just continued to carry. Franzoni went after it initially, Scott, like he was going to make an easy play on it, kind of loping back for it, and all of a sudden realized, uh-oh, ball's going over my head. And now Tyler Powers with an opportunity to add another run to the Purdue lead. Good night for the Boilermaker offense. 2 2-out hits to drive in runs. 1-1 the count on Tyler Powers. Second triple of the year for Ryan Howe. Something this Purdue team has excelled in this year. The triples game. 1-1 the count. Chopped foul, now 1-2. I mentioned it before, Purdue's excelled in it. Our State Farm State of Success. It's been triples for Purdue. 16 triples this season, including the one a moment ago from Ryan Howe. That leads the Big Ten. So a year in which the offense hasn't been exactly where Mark Wasikowski would like it. The triple production has been outstanding. And the triple here in the fourth has plated a run. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Tyler Powers.
Come on, TP. No commitments early.
2-2 the count. Powers delivered in the second with a 2-out run scoring single. Trying to come through again for the Boilermakers. Two-two pitch. Called strike 3. Powers frozen at the plate, and the side is retired. But a 2-out triple from Ryan Howe has given Purdue a 2-0 lead.
As promised, the parade of arms continues for the Boilermakers. Dalton Parker the next to get his work in to this talented Xavier team and set things up for the weekend.
And we will see more. See Mark Wasikowski on the walkie-talkie.
I remember that causing a big controversy in the World Series in 1976 between the Reds and Yankees. I think they had to get the commissioner involved and was generally frowned upon. Times have changed.
Yes. Now walkie-talkies are embraced as an everyday part of life. Shepsky takes the first pitch for a strike, 0-1. Do you own any walkie-talkies at the Pose House?
I'm sure we do. Are they working? I doubt it. But the kids had them, yes, growing up.
I think everybody had a walkie-talkie. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Stats guru Sophie shaking his head. He did not have a walkie-talkie. Kugler household has walkie-talkies. I could probably walk you to them right now. They may or may not have operable batteries in them. The 0-2. High for a ball, 1-2 the count. Bring him out next week to TD Ameritrade Park. Could have a walkie-talkie for you on the field or for Danon on the field, depending on who's down there at any given time.
That'd be great.
1-2 pitch. Jake Shepsky lifts it. Foul territory now to play. Only hear it now. Hey, Scott, is it hot down there? Sure is, Kevin.
If I'm on a walkie-talkie, my call sign is Dragon.
Is it Dragon?
Yes, you just refer to me as Dragon.
All right. Hey, Dragon, how's the lat? Pretty sore. Over and out. I feel like that's a new addition to the Big Ten tournament this year. There's a lot going on, but walkie-talkies would make it even better. The 1-2 misses inside, 2-2. And so this was that foul ball a moment ago. Watch this.
That's a
what
catch.
A play. Little girl ducking out of the way. That young man with the glove able to save her life and get himself a foul ball in the process.
Future Boiler right there.
Yep. 2-2. That's fouled off to the right. Now to play. If only he had a walkie-talkie to spread the word about that great catch he made in foul territory.
I wonder what his call sign is.
We've been told it's Viper. Either that or Magic Man. The 2-2. Just missed. Parker's fastball high and away, 3-2. Didn't miss by much, Scott.
Parker trying to hit his spot on the outside corner. He splits the catcher, but the ball's off the plate. Scott Bova not going to give in.
Here's the 3-2. Came inside, and it's popped up behind the plate. Fascia, long run, makes the catch. Good work by Fascia. Had to hurry up to get that one as it came down quickly, and Shepsky's retired.
A lot of foul ground here at Alexander Field, but you see Fascia throw the mask away, cover that ground, and catch the ball just before he gets to the wall. Not always easy to find it once it's up, but he does a good job of locating the ball, turning his back to the infield and catching it as it comes back.
Not easy to do, too, because that little bit of spin's going to bring it back towards the field to play. Good work by Fascia back there as Aubrey Major steps in. And that's a strike of the knees, and it's 0-1. Major 1 for 2. Singled and stole a base in the fourth, was left stranded at third, down 0-2 on the foul tip. Purdue's pitching tonight has been strong. Only 2 hits allowed through 5 1/3. The 0-2 way upstairs with a fastball. And that, oh my goodness, 2-2 the count. Zach Fascia was ready to throw down to third. Didn't get the call.
Well, that won't win any points with a home plate umpire. You got to wait till it's called, but that's another fastball away. He set up outside, but he's not going to get the call. He might be set up too far outside.
And on the 2-2, Major sends this one to center field where Skylar Hunter patrols and makes the catch for the second out. Both head coaches have been a little disappointed at times with the calls, but that's what you see often.
Well, catchers are taught to have that outside corner in the middle of their body, but if you get too far out, if the ball's on the plate and the umpire sees you catch it awkwardly and not on the body, you're not going to get the call. And I think that's what happened in that last call that didn't happen.
Matt Warkentin called over by head coach Billy O'Connor. They're going to have a little meeting. Warkentin's had his meeting now with 2 down and nobody on, ready to face Dalton Parker. First pitch stays up. Top of the 6th inning, a 2-0 lead for Purdue. Foul tip into the glove of Fascia to even the count 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Top of the 6th inning as Warkentin bats with 2 out, nobody on. And that's a strike. Fastball paints the outside corner, now 1-2.
Parker getting to that outside corner and looking for that spot. You're going to stay away from a big strong hitter like Matt Warkentin. You miss inside, he gets extended and he can generate some lift.
The 1-2 is upstairs, 2-2 the count. Two. Good swing by Warkentin, just missed that one. Fouls it back against the screen, still 2-2. Xavier done in Big East play. They finished 12-4. They lost a couple of games to weather. Creighton playing this weekend, 3 against Villanova at TD Ameritrade Park in Omaha. If Creighton sweeps their Big East champs, if they lose a game, Xavier the champions. As Warkentin down on strikes, and a 1-2-3 inning in the 6th. Boilers up 2-0. Boilermakers doubled their lead in the 4th inning. Zach Fascia was right in the middle of it once again as he singles to start off the 4th. Ben Nissel gets the job done with a sacrifice after an Everts fly ball out. Ryan Howell with a run-scoring triple, bringing Fascia all the way home. A 2-0 lead for Purdue, and it'll be Fascia leading it off here in the Purdue 6th inning, and a new pitcher on the hill For Xavier, it's left-hander Trevor Olson. 19th game of the year for Trevor Olson. He'll face Fascia, Nissel, Everts here in the Purdue 6th inning. Boilermakers with a 2-0 lead. Trying to get on the winning track before they host an incredibly important series against Ohio State this weekend. They need wins. They need some help. The door's not closed on Omaha, but it's slim chances as Fascia drives this one to right. That ball pretty well hit, and it's gone. Zach Fascia with a solo home run, his 4th of the season. And Purdue with a 3-0 lead.
Well, Zach Fascia went up there hunting fastball. He got it and didn't miss it. This pitch right down the middle. He got extended. Look at the swing. Short to the ball and through it. Generates that lift. Carries on Alexander Field. Well, insurance for the Boilermakers. Batting the 3rd run.
Fascia double, single, homer. Triple away from the cycle tonight for Zach Fascia.
Boilers leading triples. Why not?
Seems a foregone conclusion. His 3 hits ties a season high. He's got 1 triple this year. Trying to bite off a 2nd triple and get a cycle to his credit. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Ben Nissel. 3-0 lead for the Boilermakers in the bottom of the 6th. Trying to take advantage of a perfect night for baseball, and West Lafayette walk out with a win. A 1-2 pitch, and Nissel floats it into right. That's a base hit. Rude welcome for left-hander Trevor Olson. Allows the home run to Fascia. Now Nissel on a 1-2 pitch drops a single to right.
This is a good approach from Nissel with 2 strikes. Taking this pitch away the other way. It's down and away, but if you keep your hands back at the inside part of the ball and let it get deep, you got a chance to drive this to right field. That's exactly what he does. It's a pitcher's pitch. Olson didn't do anything wrong, but it's just a good piece of hitting from Ben Nissel.
Now Nick Everts the batter, 1 for 2 tonight. 4 through 8 in the order has been where the production's been tonight for the Boilermakers. Swing and a miss by Everts down a strike. He singled back in the 2nd, flew out to left in the 4th. 3-0 lead for Purdue. Looking for win number 20 on the year. One of the goals, Scott, was to get the hitters into a good hitting mindset going into the Ohio State series. I think you're, at least from several of them, specifically Zach Fascia at the top of the list, your mission's getting accomplished tonight.
Early on, it looks that way. Although I know the first thing that Mark Wasikowski would say if you bring that up, got some ball game left.
Yeah, don't bring that up. The 0-2 pitch is high to Everts. 1-2 the count to the Purdue first baseman. And he was not unhappy, Wasikowski, with the effort in the losses this weekend to Illinois. He said, look, I know we lost 3 games, but Illinois is a top 25 team. We're on the road. We had chances there. He did not go around. 2-2 the count. Everts looked like he was on his way to the dugout. Instead comes back for another pitch.
Yeah, Coach Wasikowski said they could easily have won a couple of games in that series. Had a ball bounce one way or another, they were able to get that run in with 2 outs. But they weren't able to do so, and they come away with 3 tough losses at a very talented Illinois team at Illinois Field.
2-2, fouled away. And that Illinois team with a chance to finish in the top 2 or 3 of this conference at the end of this weekend.
Well, there's rumblings for those teams in the top 2 or 3 of hosting a region, and that's added incentive to be playing well late in the year.
Now, the NCAA always likes to have northern schools in the mix to host. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Nick Everts, and that's fouled again. We've seen it, Indiana, Illinois, Michigan over the years. Back before Nebraska joined the Big Ten, they hosted many regionals.
I don't think Darren Erstad would object to hosting another one.
No, I think he'd be fine with that.
Yeah, I think he'd be okay with it.
No, I don't think he'd decline it. Two balls, 2 strikes. And a throw over to keep an eye on Nissel. Nissel does have good speed, but he's battled that back injury for the better portion of the last 2 months. There he goes, and the pitch is lined into left for a base hit. Nissel around second, on his way to third. The slide to third, and he is safe at third. So Nissel aggressive on the base paths. Goes to third on the base hit from Nick Everts. And Purdue continues with some good hitting in the middle of the lineup.
Get a little bit of a lead. You can start taking some chances. And Mark Wasikowski starts Nissel, but a great read by him. Look at his eyes as he sees that ball was hit on the line to left field. The ball's in front of him. He knows his speed. Slides in safely and creates an offensive opportunity for the Boilers with runners at first and third. Still nobody out in the inning.
Milo Beam will pinch run now at first base. So Nick Everts' night is done as Milo Beam comes on to pinch run. Ryan Howe comes on to bat. 3 straight hits here in the 6th to start against left-hander Trevor Olson, who fires a strike into Ryan Howe. There's Milo Beam. As promised, he's pinch running at first. Junior out of Westfield, Indiana. 7 for 10 on the base paths for Beam. And Purdue thinking about blowing this one open here in the 6th inning. Nobody out, a run in, runners at the corners. Looking for a crooked number here in the 6th. How a mighty cut. And he's quickly down.
How we battle with 2 just like Nick.
Howe fouls it away. Talk about what Purdue's trying to do this weekend. Their opponent, Ohio State, is going to come in here with a lot of fire in their eyes. They know that they're a win or 2 away from locking up that trip to Omaha for themselves, but they're a big mix with a lot of teams. If they stumble here in West Lafayette, they could lose their opportunity to go to Omaha.
You know, Ohio State's no doubt motivated as they're right behind Rutgers for that last spot, and Rutgers has a challenge. They're facing a hot Indiana team right now.
And it's not going to be easy for them. See Rutgers and Indiana later this weekend on BTN. That Nebraska-Michigan series. Each game of that series will be on BTN. We've got you covered this weekend. College baseball plenty. It all starts on Thursday with a double dip. Illinois and Michigan State, then Michigan and Nebraska. The 0-2. That's fouled back to stay alive by Ryan Howe. Double, even triple headers this weekend on the network. College baseball.
Interesting cat and mouse going on now in this ball game. Olson isn't liking the balls that have been thrown to him because it doesn't appear they're rubbed up. A little slick, so he's been picking up some dirt, putting it on his hand, and then gripping the ball.
The 0-2. Sails high. Runner going to second. The throw bounces in, and he's out. Milo Beam gunned down on a bounce. Monastra with a quick release. And Beam is caught stealing for the first out of the 6th inning.
That was a really quick release from Monastra. Beam gets a jump. He's looking in, maybe thinking that there was going to be contact. And looked like Beam may have gotten in on the outside part of second base as the throw bounced up. And The danger in this is the pop-up slide. The pop-up slide, when you're sliding in on a close play, gives the umpire an illusion that you're getting tagged. That's why you should always stay down.
Look at it here. Good release.
It's a good throw. It's a short hop, but look at the foot get in, and when he pops up, he's popping up on that. It gives the umpire the illusion that he was tagged out.
So I'll show you here. Watch the foot to the bag. There's the tag. It's close.
But the pop-up, if you stay down, you're called safe. I wish I could give you a better explanation why, but I've experienced it many times. And you need to stay down.
On factor for the moment. Lefty leaves, righty comes on to face the right-hander Howe, and Howe down 1 ball, 2 strikes. Infield in as well.
Two-strike game, Howie.
Howe tripled in a run in the 4th. The 1-2 pitch, and it hit him. So Howe hit by the pitch, the first offering from Williams, and he plunked him. 5th batter that Williams has hit in 16 innings.
Control an issue. This one clearly gets away. Sinker rides in, hits Howe on the hip. The Boilers are back to 1st and 3rd. This time with 1 out.
And now Tyler Powers, who delivered a 2-run single, or a 2-out run-scoring single in the 2nd. At the plate with runners at the corners and 1 out. And Powers showing bunt and looks at ball 1. Again, Purdue hoping to come up with a couple more hits to string together a few runs and blow this one open. Runners still hold their positions at the corners.
Billy O'Connor not afraid to call the pitch out. That's the 3rd one that we've seen tonight. Sensing something maybe up. And he knows that Mark Wasikowski likes to play small ball. He'll show bunt. He'll put runners in motion. Just another added pressure that it puts on the defensive team.
And that's a strike, 2-1. In an oddity, all of the production tonight for Purdue has come through batters 4 through 8, Powers being the number 8 hitter. Albrecht at 9, McKenzie, Bonner, and Hunter are a combined 0 for 10 tonight. 2-1 to Powers. Shows bunt and bunts it foul, 2-2.
This was a safety squeeze, not the squeeze that you would think of where the runner starts before the ball is thrown, but what Powers is trying to do is bunt this ball firmly, and Nissel, who's at 3rd, once he sees the ball go down at a bad angle, he takes off, and that's what Purdue tried to do there.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Williams thinking strikeout here. On the ground. Should be 2 to 2nd for 1. On to first. Nice dig at first by Warkentin to complete the double play. And the side is retired. Zach Fascia, the leadoff home run in the 6th, adds another run to the Purdue lead, up 3-0 through 6. We've played 6 here in West Lafayette. Purdue with single runs in the 2nd, 4th, and 6th. A 3-0 lead. Zach Fascia's been the big reason why Purdue is up. 3 for 3, a double, a single, a home run. He scored all 3 runs in the ball game. Purdue's pitching's been good too. 4 pitchers used, 6 innings, 2 hits, no runs, and 7 strikeouts. And Purdue will go back to the bullpen for pitcher number 5. And on now for the Boilermakers is the right-hander Austin Peterson. 23rd appearance of the year for Peterson.
Great control from Peterson as he struck out more than 1 an inning. He only has 10 walks on the year. He's going to be around the plate, and that's exactly what Coach Wasikowski is hoping for in this situation with the Boilers up 3.
Some defensive changes as well for Purdue. We'll outline those for you in a moment as Chris Givens settles in. 0 for 1 with a walk today. out in front 1-0, and now 1-1 the count on Chris Given. Altenberger and Franzoni to follow. 5, 6, 7 in the Xavier lineup here in the 7th inning. And it's 1-2 now on Chris Given. So defensively now for Purdue, several changes as a result of the pinch running of Milo Beam. You've got Beam in left. Ben Nissel moves over to right. Cole McKenzie comes in, takes over at first base. And that accounts for your defense. Powers at third, Albrecht at short, Howe at second, McKenzie at first, Fascia behind the plate, Beam in left, Hunter in center, and Nissel is in right. And the pitch is low for ball 3, 3-2 the count. No changes in the booth. Despite your multiple emails and pleas, it's still Kevin Kugler and Scott Pose. Yep. And our names are on the screen now to prove that we are still here. The 3-2 pitch. On the ground, booted to the right side, chasing it down. Peterson tries to flip it with a glove, and he just got it late. That was almost the highlight of the night. By half a step, Given beat it out. It'll be an infield hit.
Well, the ball's hit hard. Peterson does a job to stop it. It's a kick save and a beauty. Has the presence of mind to get over, and he tries the glove flip. A pretty good one. And a close play at first. Given beats it out. Xavier has a base runner.
What a good effort by Austin Peterson. And credit Chris Given. He was hustling down the line all the way. First pitch, a strike, taken by Ryan Altenberger. No balls and a strike. Top of the 7th inning. And that's fouled away, 0-2. Coaching over at first base for Xavier is a guy who is familiar to Big Ten baseball fans. Former Iowa Hawkeye Jake Yasinich is the volunteer assistant coach here at Xavier, coaching first base. Not too many days removed from his playing days with the Hawkeyes. Joined Xavier's program in December of 2018 as the 0-2 is flared foul and away.
Former All-Big Ten selection is now in the coaching ranks after getting his degree and working his way back. Comes from a long coaching line and family. His grandfather was a coach a long time at Grandview College in Des Moines. His father, noted high school coach in the area. Jake continues the tradition.
The 0-2, that one hit well to right center field. Long run for Nissel. He's not going to get there, and it'll bounce off the fence. Given around third. They're going to wave him home. The throw going to third, and it's offline. A run-scoring triple for Ryan Altenberger, and Xavier on the board. Now down 3-1.
This team can swing the bats and can change the score in a hurry. Span of 2 batters. Xavier has done it. Altenberger got a pitch that was up out over the plate and hits it into the gap. He's off to the races. Given running on the pitch, and Altenberger can pick it up and put it down.
Altenberger in the third relatively easily with that triple. And Xavier right back into this ball game as Luke Franzoni hitting .324 with runners in scoring position comes up.
Still nobody out, and all Xavier needs is a ground ball, and they're within 1.
Purdue will certainly concede the run for the out as Franzoni looks to the off-speed low for ball 1. Purdue has dominated this game, but Scott, you look back to that last inning in the 6th when the double play ended it. Boilermakers had plenty of opportunities, but Milo Beam was caught trying to steal. A double play ended it. And Purdue missed a chance there. Now the Boilermakers trying to get something going here. The bullpen is what's going. Matt Moore loosening quickly out there, the left-hander for the Boilermakers.
Purdue pitching coach Elliot Kribbe out to offer some instruction and also buy time so they can get some extra arms loose.
Nobody out. 1 ball, no strike count. Franzoni with a double back in the 5th, his last at bat. He's got some big time pop in that bat, just a freshman. 7 home runs for the youngster. And the 1-0. 2-0 the count on Franzoni.
Runner at third. This is a fun time to hit. Be in the box. You're sitting on a fastball and looking for something to get your arms extended.
Good pitch from Peterson, but he attacked it. 2-1.
Same on 2-1. Look for a fastball in the middle part of the plate. Usually about thigh high. See it there, let it fly. Good things usually happen.
Two 2-1 pitch. On the ground, that's just foul. Didn't miss by much. A 2-2 on Franzoni.
Franzoni's in swing mode. He knows 2-1. If he gets a fastball, he gets that barrel out front, but cannot keep it fair. Great lesson for you young players that are watching. Altenberger took his lead in foul territory. If he gets hit with the ball there, no problem. If he's in fair territory, the ball hits him, he's out. Always take the lead in foul territory when you're at third.
The 2-2, and that just missed low and away. 3-2 now on Franzoni. Austin Peterson has faced 2 batters, allowed 2 hits and a run. Trying to get that elusive first out here in the 7th inning. Three balls, 2 strikes. Popped him up on the infield. Howe, the second baseman, with the catch. As good as a strikeout for Peterson. 1 down in the 7th.
Yeah, induced contact on the infield. That pop-up on the infield is not going to be enough to score the run from third. The first part of the job is done for Peterson.
Now you've got the 8 and 9 hitters coming up who are combined 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts today. A chance to get out of the inning. Peterson can see it. It's going to take some work, though. Jack Hausinger steps in. 359 the average this year with runners in scoring position. Came up in the 5th with a runner at second and struck out looking.
Hausinger's going to be in swing mode early.
First pitch caught the corner, and it's 0-1.
Well, that's painting the outside corner.
Hausinger having to deal with a little sliver of sunlight in his eyes right now. The 0-1. That's low for a ball. 1-1 the count. Late stages of sun here in West Lafayette, capping what has been just a perfect day. Not sure there's been a cloud float through here throughout this game. We're happy about that. The 1-1. Pitch out, throw down to third, and back is Altenberger. Two and 1 the count. And missed away. 3 balls and a strike. Hausinger delivers on a base hit to right. That'll score Altenberger. And one of the biggest clutch hitters comes up clutch again for Xavier, and it's a 3-2 ball game.
Hausinger does a good job of keeping his weight back, but getting the barrel out front on this inside fastball. Showing a calm presence in the box with runners on. It's a short swing to the ball. Good discipline for a young player.
Over the drawn-in infield, the base hit for Hausinger. And the Purdue lead down to one skinny run with a tying run at first and the go-ahead run at the plate in the Tolly Monastra. Austin Peterson, a third of an inning, 3 hits, 2 earned runs in 21 pitches. Runner was going on the pitch as Monastra fouls it away.
Billy O'Connor was looking for the competitive at-bats from his team. He's starting to get them now and then starting to roll the dice, too. Starting runners and looking to put pressure on this Purdue team.
Monastra, the number 9 hitter. Hitting .252 on the year. Can he deliver here in the 7th? Keep this rally going for Xavier with 1 out. On the ground to the right side. Nice pickup there by Howe at second to shortstop for 1, and they cannot get the return. That extra step that Howe had to take towards the first base bag really removed any chance for the double play.
Well, it's a good play, and let me tell you why. Is you're not really trying to get 2 here. What you're most important and concerned about is allowing the tying run getting to second base. And so what Howe does is does a good job of corralling it, but then setting his feet just to make sure the feed gets to his teammate Albrecht at short. If you get 2, it's a bonus. But what you most importantly do is keep that tie and run out of scoring position. Fine play by the second baseman from Purdue.
And now the Boilermakers 1 out away from getting out of the 7th with the lead, but they've got to deal with the top hitter, Connor Gramis, who is due 0 for 2 tonight with a walk. Been on base in 19 straight games as the off-speed catches the corner for a strike. Leading hitter on the team at .323 on the year. Pivotal at-bat in this game with a tying run at first in the Tolly Monastra. Peterson ready. Came inside. 1-1 to Connor Gramis. Gramis hit .341 as a freshman, .330 in his sophomore year. Hitting right around .330 again this year, and he looks at a beautiful off speed from Peterson that caught the inside corner, 1-2.
Quality breaking ball that comes back and gets the inside part of the plate. That's what you're going to have to do against a good hitter like Gramis, is keep him off balance. You're not going to give him the fastball right away.
Now Peterson in the driver's seat at 1-2. Trying to finish off this 7th inning and a throw over to keep an eye on Monastra. Monastra, not a guy you'd think is going to run, especially with Gramis at the plate. Just 1 for 2 on the base paths this year is the Xavier catcher. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Monastra inching out that lead. And a throw over again, back easily. Austin Peterson has allowed a couple here in the 7th, but can get out with the lead if he can throw 1 more strike to Connor Gramis. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Gramis fights that one off to stay alive. Competitive ball game tonight. Even though for both teams this game was seen as a means to an end in a lot of ways, trying to work on this aspect or that aspect before a respective conference tournament or weekend series begin. Just missed with the fastball over the outside corner, 2-2.
Purdue trying to go back to that outside corner. And again, I think Fash is just a little bit too far off of the plate to get that call.
Yeah, hit his target, did Peterson, but the target set up outside. Throw over to chase Monastra back again.
This game has the feel of what a Major League spring training game would have. You're getting a lot of pitchers, you're getting a lot of work in from a lot of players, but to get ready for something in the future. And that's essentially what we have happening here just before final conference series and conference tournaments.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Grammas. And again, a throw over to first. Why so much attention paid to Monastra here by Austin Peterson? Monastra, a guy who doesn't run well.
Well, it's in part to break up the rhythm of Grammas at the plate. But also Purdue very wary of allowing that runner to get into scoring position and him trying a delayed steal or anything of the like with 2 outs.
No movement at first as Grammas skies this one to center. Easy play out there for Skylar Hunter to make the catch. And the side is retired. Xavier jumps back into this one with a pair of runs into 7th. Sun starting to set in West Lafayette. Purdue with a 3-2 lead. 8 hits for the Boilermakers, 5 for Xavier as we move to the bottom of the 7th inning. Alongside Scott Pose, I'm Kevin Kugler. And Scott, Purdue saw a couple of runs scored in the top half of the inning. Now they'll try to get back to work against Taylor Williams with 9-1-2 in the order against the right-handed reliever. And a bouncing ball. First pitch, great pickup by Hausinger at third. The throw across the diamond, and what a stretch by Warkentin at first. My goodness. A dandy play on each side of the diamond, and this will be a BTN standout presented by Auto Owners Insurance.
We knew Xavier could play some defense as Hausinger leaps to get the ball, and then the high throw. And how about the ability of Warkentin to keep his foot on the bag as he has to stretch across the baseline with the runner bearing down on him? That's a heck of a play.
Well, that is a terrific play. It's the best defensive team in college baseball. Fielding percentage of .984 for Xavier, and you can see why. Great example there with Hausinger at the hot corner and across to Warkentin to make the play.
And it doesn't hurt to mention that they play in a natural grass field. This isn't a turf team generating those numbers. This is a team that's used to playing on the grass and elements like this.
1 ball, 1 strike. Low to McKenzie, 2-1.
But there aren't many better grass surfaces than here at Alexander Field in college baseball as we get a look at confirmation that Xavier can flat out pick it.
Yeah, there are no better fielding teams in college baseball by fielding percentage than this Xavier squad. You saw Illinois and the success they've had defensively right in that mix as well. Purdue trying to get these top 3 batters in the lineup going here over the last couple of innings, Scott. They're a combined 0 for 8 between McKenzie, Bonner, and Hunter. 3-1 on McKenzie. And Cole McKenzie lines that one to left center field for a base hit. Over to cut it off is Franzoni, who got there quickly and threw it back in to hold McKenzie to a single. But an important at-bat for Cole McKenzie. Top of the order needs to get it going for the weekend against Ohio State.
Well, they need to get it going in the weekend. But what happens in the game when you're at the top of the order, it gets to be fun about the 6th, 7th, and 8th and 9th inning because it's either your 3rd or 4th time at the plate. You've seen a few pitches, you're dialed in. There's usually something going on in the game that can get you going too. And so the more pitches you see in the game, the better chances you have to make solid contact. Cole McKenzie does exactly that as we're about to have another pitching change.
This Purdue team hanging on to a 3-2 lead in the bottom of the 7th. It'll be 2, 3, and 4 for Xavier in the 8th. So the heart of the order coming up. But for Xavier, the heart of the order hasn't really been that productive today. Just 1 hit for those 3 batters in 9 at-bats. So neither team's gotten much out of the top of the order tonight. It's been the lower end of the order that's produced all the offense. See if Bryce Bonner can produce a little something as Zach Fascia looms in the hole. He's a triple away from the cycle tonight. He knows it. Nervous about it, too. Pitch out, throw down to first, and McKenzie back in. Again, Billy O'Connor not afraid to pitch out. 4th time tonight we've seen Xavier with a pitch out.
chance to work on those tournament things.
Big East tournament, just a 4-team tournament. Xavier knows they're in. They can be regular season champs if Villanova can knock off Creighton one time this weekend in Omaha. Mighty cut from Bonner. And a swing and a miss evens it up 1-1. Bonner hit by a pitch in the 5th inning. And a throw over to first to chase McKenzie back to the bag. He's got good speed over there. 9 stolen bases in 11 attempts this year. Came inside, snap throw again down to first, and McKenzie back in under the tag. Monastra keeping close watch on Cole McKenzie over at first. McKenzie inching out that lead. 2 balls and a strike. And fastball for strike 2. 2-2 now on Bryce Bonner. Trey Schramm, the 5th Xavier pitcher of the night. He's ready for the 2-2. Just missed. 3-2 the count.
Schramm looking in, wondering where that pitch was. He's going on the outside corner with that slider. It's just off the plate. Monastra holds it there. Scott Bova not giving in.
Bryce, stay with it.
3 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out, bottom of the 7th. And Bonner pops it up. Runner was moving on the 3-2 with 1 out. And McKenzie will go back to first.
Start the runner on 3-2 to stay out of the double play, most likely. And then if you get a gapper, then you got the chance to be on the move.
Three
3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. McKenzie to lead at first. Runner goes. Bonner pops it up. Backpedaling is given it short. They'll make the catch for out number 2. Bonner is retired. That'll leave it up to Skylar Hunter if Purdue's going to add to the 3-2 lead.
Fastball rides in from Schramm on Bonner. He's not able to get extended. Pops it up on the infield and leads to the 2nd out of the inning.
Skylar Hunter trying to bring the thunder here. 0 for 3. Couple of ground outs and a fly ball to the left for the Boilermakers center fielder. And the first pitch swinging, a chopper to second, the flip to the shortstop given at the bag, and that retires the side. 6th Purdue pitcher on the hill, and it's Matt Moore, 25th outing of the year. And I see a lot of large strikeout numbers for this Purdue team. They set the school strikeout record for a single season this year, and Matt Moore's contributed 30 to that total.
He's got excellent numbers on the year, striking out more than 1 an inning, a low walk total, which is ideal. Left-hander going to be called to hang on to this 1-run lead that the Boilers have headed into the 8th.
Moore will face 2, 3, and 4 in the Xavier lineup. Jake Shepsky, Aubrey Major, Matt Warkentin. Only one of those 3 with a hit is Major, who singled and was left stranded at 3rd in the 4th. Here's Shepsky. The Notre Dame grad transfer looks at the first pitch for a strike. Purdue would very much like to go through this Xavier lineup in order the next 2 innings and not have to deal with Connor Gramis again. They have held him in check tonight. The top hitter is 0 for 3 with a walk. The 0-1 to Shepsky. In on the hands, and he fouled it away. 0-2.
What's going to be an interesting decision for Mark Wasikowski, too, is whether to use his closer. They have a great closer in Bo Hofstra. He's got a big league arm. He can run it up in the mid-90s. But, again, setting it up for the weekend, are you far enough out where he could get some rest? And you bring him into a save situation, potentially, if the lead stays here. It'll be interesting to see.
Just missed with a fastball. Low and away. 1-2 on the leadoff man here in the 8th, Jake Shepsky.
Matt Moore's got that crossfire action, and he tried to get a piece of that outside corner and doesn't get the call.
Here's the 1-2. And that's called strike 3. Shepsky tried to duck out of the way and fool the home plate umpire, Scott Bova, but he was not going to be fooled.
Well, Moore missed with that fastball on the outside corner, and what sets it up is he starts that slider in the same spot that ball was called the ball. Shepsky gives up on it, thinks it's high, tried to duck it, and could not.
8th strikeout by Purdue's 6 pitchers combined. 1 down for Aubrey Major. Skips over that one to get out of the way. 1-0. Big East Freshman of the Year last year, Aubrey Major, the sophomore from Indianapolis. The 1-0, and Major twisting that one into right center field, dropping it in for a base hit. Ben Nissel over to cut it off. Major's got his second hit in 4 trips to the plate, and tying run aboard with 1 out in the 8th.
Major can really cover that outside part of the plate. We saw him do it left-handed in the 4th inning, and now he turns around right-handed. Look where this pitch is. That's down and away, but he gets his hands to the ball. See why he was Freshman of the Year in the Big East. That's a good job of hitting from both sides of the plate.
He's a good-looking player. 6'5", 200 pounds, good speed.
He looks a little like, and who he reminds me of is Cliff Floyd. Cliff Floyd would do that from both sides of the plate, too.
Cliff Floyd added a little bulk once he got up to the big league level. Yeah, no, I'm just saying that is a similar style of hitting. I don't disagree with you. Scott Pose is right, ladies and gentlemen. You can live your life by that mantra, really.
Just tell my wife.
Just whatever Scott Pose says, just know it's right. At Warkenton 0 for 3 tonight. And on the first pitch swinging, he skies it to center field. Skylar Hunter and Ben Nissel there. It'll be Nissel, the right fielder, who comes over to make the catch. There's 2 down in the 8th with Major still at first, and it'll be up to Chris Given for Xavier here in the top of the 8th inning. Purdue will try to get this win and then reset quickly with Ohio State in for the weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And Boilermakers need wins, and they need other teams to lose. It's a sliver of hope, but it's still there to try to get to Omaha for next week's Big Ten tournament. Given 1 for 2 tonight. Has walked, singled, scored a run. Check throw over to keep an eye on Major. Mentioned his speed. Aubrey Major stole a base back in the 4th inning. Just his 3rd stolen base of the year. This guy, when he was in high school, ran 60-yard dash in 6.75 seconds. He's got the speed, but Scott, sometimes speed doesn't necessarily mean you're a great base stealer, at least early on.
Well, it's all about getting the jump in that first step. And there's a difference between being quick and having outright speed.
And they've got him picked off. The throw through, and he is safe. Slid around the tag, and Major just kept running despite the throw over to first.
Major did something so fundamentally sound here, is that if you know you're picked off, you get inside to try to get into the throwing lane. And you want to force the shortstop or second base, whoever's coming, to come way in, and then you dive for the outside part of the base. Look how far in he is, and then he goes to the outside part of the base. That's just great base running by Major.
It'll go as a stolen base, his second of the night. So he's doubled his stolen base total tonight, and now the tying run in scoring position for Chris Given. And he takes the strike at the belt. 0-1. Matt Moore trying to work around a little bit of two-out trouble here. That tying run at second in the 8th. Given hitting .339 with 2 outs this year, .350 with runners on base. The 0-1 from Moore, and that's a strike. Moore looked back at Major dancing around back there at second base, calmly dealt the strike. No balls, 2 strikes. Moore 1 strike away from getting out of the inning. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Fouled off the foot of Given.
Moore just staying away. He's gotten some calls out there. Now Given's got to expand the zone. He's diving across the plate and potentially could be vulnerable to something inside.
See if Moore can come up with the big pitch to slam the door on Xavier in the 8th. Given ready. Moore is set. The pitch. And that is foul down the third base line.
Moore tried to get inside with that slider and could not. Given did a good job to put a good swing on him.
Zach Fascia coming up to start the bottom of the 8th, looking for a triple to complete the cycle. Right now he's looking to catch the pitch that gets his team out of the inning. Awaiting the deal from Moore, and just missed outside.
Moore trying to go back to the outside corner. You can see where Fascia is set up. The pitch is a good 18 inches off the plate.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Chris Given. Singled and scored in the 7th. Base hit here will tie this game in the 8th. Moore taking his time. Now he's ready. The 1-2. And Given lines into the left center field. That'll drop in for a base hit. Major around third. Here comes the throw. It's cut off, and we've got a brand new ball game. Xavier ties it up in the top of the 8th.
Given sees enough pitches where he finally got a mistake that was out over the middle of the plate. He puts the barrel on it and gets a key clutch 2-out base hit to tie this game. It was a slider that came back and leaked over the middle of the plate. Given was ready for it. Two outs. Major's going to be off on contact. There's no doubt he's going to be scoring. He gets the windmill and scores standing up.
And now Ryan Altenberger, who tripled in a run in the 7th, and they've got another runner picked off. The throw to second, and he is out. He overslid the bag, and when he came back, they got him on the shoulder before he could get to the bag. Zach Fascia's had himself quite a night here in West Lafayette. A double to start things off in his day in the 2nd inning. Came up in the 4th with a hard single off the glove of Jack Hausinger, and then nobody touched this one as it left the yard, a home run. And Zach Fascia coming up to start the bottom of the 8th inning in a tie game, a triple away from the cycle. But he's just trying to get on now and provide the lead run on base for Purdue.
You're exactly right. Get on by any means possible.
First pitch swinging, and a mighty cut and a miss. He was looking to get on by sending it over the wall and right again. Trey Schramm still on the hill. You see, this is the part of the order that Purdue wants up. The 4 to 7 hitters are 7 for 10 tonight. Everybody else 2 for 17. So Purdue's going to get something done. This has been the part of the order that's done it, as Fascia sends that one down the left field line. Long run over there for Aubrey Major, and it's foul. And hopping up onto the berm. And now a free-for-all out there.
Well, Schramm was watching the game before he came in because he knew that Fascia's been swinging hot. Patty starts him off with a change, gets him out front, then speeds him up again with his fastball. Fascia's behind it. He fouls it off, and Schramm finds himself up in the count 0-2 against Purdue's hottest hitter.
Nissel and Beam to follow here in the 8th. No balls, 2 strikes. Leading off is Zach Fascia, and now 1-2.
Adjust with 2 here. Come on, let's do strike.
Well, you knew it was going to be hard, Scott, to hold this Xavier offense down. It's a potent offensive team. They've really hit their stride of late. Sure enough, late in this game, 3 runs on the board the last 2 innings. 1-2 pitch to Fascia.
Good.
2-2 the count. Just dropped low.
Great job, Zach. Hey, same thing. Don't get big here. Just throw it off. And 2 strikes, swing here. Come on.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Schramm ready. And now 3-2. Fascia'd love to have that triple for the cycle, but he'd be just as happy right now to get on base via the free pass. Anything to put that go-ahead run on the base paths. 3-2 pitch coming to Zach Fascia. And he popped him up, but foul and out of play.
Good job, Zach.
So Fascia stays alive at 3-2. Schramm will have to deal again. And Fascia puts a charge into this one to right. Going back is Shepsky, and that ball is off the wall. Fascia on his way to second. He's 1 base shy of a cycle as he coasts in with a lead-off double in the 8th. 4 for 4 tonight for Zach Fascia.
He's seen it well and had a good at bat here because he saw a number of pitches from Schramm. Got a mistake, though. It's a fastball middle in. Fascia just crushes it, hits it off the top of the wall. Once it bounded around, everybody's thinking, is he going to go for 3?
He'll settle for the double and a career-high 4 hits tonight for Zach Fascia. Now you've got Ben Nissel up, who sacrificed back in the 4th inning. Would you expect to see him try to lay one down here, Scott?
Absolutely. I think that's what they're talking about.
Wasikowski talking with Ben Nissel right now.
But I think that was more of a conversation. What are you more comfortable doing? Swinging and getting them over, or do you want to bunt? So the sign's going to be relayed what the result of that conversation was.
Meeting at the mound will break up as well as Nissel steps in to face Trey Schramm. Pivotal moment in this game in the bottom of the 8th. A tie game at 3. Zach Fascia 4 for 4 tonight with the double to start things off in the 8th. Nissel is 1 for 2. He singled his last time up in the 6th. He sacrificed in the 4th. What will he do here? Schramm ready, the pitch, and no sign of a bunt from Nissel as he takes the pitch high and tight for ball 1. Mark Wasikowski's team looking for a run to regain the lead going to the 9th. The 1-0, swing and a miss, 1-1.
Trying to go the other way. He got that fastball away. Did Nissel? Could not make contact.
Clearly the outcome of that conversation was I feel more comfortable swinging than bunting in this situation. One ball, one strike. If you're Purdue, you've got to get Fascia over to third somehow. Nobody out. Go ahead run at second. And time called. Trey Schramm, the fifth Xavier pitcher. The 1-1 to Nissel. And Nissel hits it to the left side and foul. 1-2.
Put it in play, kid. Come on, bud. On this.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Schramm deals, swing and a miss. He got him to chase the high heat. Nissel down on strikes and a big first out here in the 8th inning with Fascia staying at second.
Another fastball away. Nissel expands the zone, cannot make contact, and is disappointed. He can't believe it. But for sure he could hit that ball to the right side.
So now Milo Beam, the batter. Runner at second and 1 out.
Now here's a guy that can handle the bat.
268 on the year, but 455 with runners in scoring position.
By handle the bat, I mean he can bunt whenever he wants to. This isn't a bunting situation. He's going to be looking to stay in the middle of the field and drive him in.
And the fastball stays up. 1 ball, no strikes to Milo Beam. Took over for Nick Everts in this spot as a pinch runner was caught stealing in the 6th inning. First at bat of the night for Beam. The 1-0 hit to the right side, but foul. 1-1. Trey Schramm gave up the leadoff double to Zach Fascia, but came back to get a giant strikeout of Ben Nissel. Purdue opting not to bunt the runner over from second to third. Nissel instead swinging away, and he swings through a high fastball. Comes up empty. Now Milo Beam even in the count, 1-1. And Fascia still stationed at second. The 1-1 shows bunt, pulls the bat back, and takes it outside for ball 2. Third baseman Jack Hausinger is even with the bag at third. Really a situation where you're trying to take advantage of a guy who's back behind the bag.
Well, when you're Beam and you can run like he can, when the third baseman's even, that's still free license to bunt. The only question for me is, well, go ahead and run at second base, drive him in. You create the first and third, but you're leaving it up to the next guy.
2-1 pitch, low ball 3. And now,
great job, Milo.
Good hitters count for Milo Beam.
Attaboy. Still looking at your pitch. Come on.
Ryan Howe, who's got a run-scoring triple on the night, waiting on deck. Schramm behind 3-1 as he deals. And that's low for ball 4. So Beam draws the 1-out walk. Fascia at second. 2 on, 1 out for Ryan Howe, who delivered in the 4th.
Ryan Howe coming to the plate.
Ryan Howe in the 4th inning came up big for the Boilermakers. 2 outs, and he delivered on a run-scoring triple. Driving home, Zach Fascia slides in at third. That gave Purdue a 2-0 lead at the time. If he can come up with a triple here, he'll drive in 2 runs. With runners at first and second and only 1 out in the bottom of the 8th. Ryan Howe in a big spot here for the Boilermakers against Lane Flam. Howe and Powers, the next 2 scheduled hitters, with Evan Albrecht to follow. It's 7, 8, 9 in the lineup, due up for Purdue. Howe's got an RBI triple. Powers an RBI single tonight. Boilermakers and Musketeers tied at 3 in the bottom of the 8th. Purdue led this game since the second inning. Single runs in the 2nd, 4th, and 6th, but they allowed 2 in the 7th and a solo run in the 8th. This game all tied at 3 here in the bottom of the 8th.
The second baseman, number 9,
Now Ryan Howe to the plate. Flam would love to coax a ground ball at someone. Howe's hit into 3 double plays this year. He was erased in a double play in the 6th off the bat of Tyler Powers. First pitch from Flam, low and outside. Two and 0 now. What's Ryan Howe looking for here, Scott?
He's looking nothing but fastball. Make it be down. It looks like Flam's trying to get him to go after something up in the zone, but down a pitch you get extended on and drive. It's got to be your pitch when you're up in the count, 2-0.
Here's the 2-0. That's low, ball 3, and then he tried to throw to first, and the ball trickles away. No advance. After Monastra had that one slip out of his hand, and it kind of rolled up between first and second base.
Looked like that was going to be an attempted back pick, and maybe he tried to hold up because he didn't see his teammate ready to receive the throw. He comes up ready to throw, and then, nobody was there, and he just changed his mind.
Xavier
and was
very
fortunate.
Yeah, that could have been throw into right field that allowed runners to advance.
You're going to take a strike here.
3-0, taking all the way, and he takes a strike. If you're Ryan Howe on the year hitting .234, are you taking again at 3-1?
No. You got a chance to drive that run in. You've just seen his fastball. He's likely to go put it in the same spot. Right there to hit.
Tied at 3. 3 balls and a strike. Flam ready, the pitch. And that one hit on the ground to the right side. First baseman throws to second. That's the only play they'll make. Going back to third to see if Fascia would overrun. He does not. So Beam is erased on the fielder's choice. And there's 2 gone in the 8th, and it'll come up to Tyler Powers if Purdue's to take the lead again in the 8th inning with runners at the corners.
It's a good play by Workington. He makes the play, gets the ground ball, and then a solid feed to his shortstop Given. Now, first and third is an interesting time with 2 outs in college baseball, especially in a close game, because if somehow Powers gets down in the count, you'll see a lot of hijinks.
Swing and a miss by Powers. He's down a strike.
And what I mean by that is runner leaving early, stopping in the middle, the balk steal, trying to do something to force the defense to make a mistake.
Not easy to do against a team defensively that's the best in college baseball in Xavier. No balls and a strike. 1-1 now as Powers was able to hold up. He delivered with a 2-out run-scoring single in the 2nd to drive home Zach Fascia. Purdue looking for Tyler Powers to save the day again. Two and 1. Powers hitting .214 on the season. Lafayette native. The 2-1. And he takes a strike at the knees, 2-2. Good fastball from Lane Flam.
That was a good pitch to hit. 2-1 fastball down, right down the middle.
Two balls, two strikes, 2 on, 2 out. Bottom of the 8th in a tie game. And Powers pops it up, foul territory, long run. Monastra going to run out of room.
Normal alignment for Xavier defensively.
2-2. Ball 3. Good at bat for Powers. Payoff pitch coming for Flam, and I'll get Howell running on the pitch from first. Full count. 2 down. Bottom of inning 8. And time called again. Three balls, 2 strikes. Runner will go from first. There he goes, and it's inside. The bases are loaded. Powers fights for the walk. Howe to second. Fashes at third. The number 9 hitter, Evan Albrecht, with an opportunity. Looks like a pinch hitter may be coming out now. Johnny Sage has a bat in his hands. And here comes the aforementioned pinch hitter, Johnny Sage. This season, .214 the average. Left-handed hitter. Driven in 9 runs this season. Bases loaded. 2 down for Sage. First pitch high for ball 1. Can he be patient enough at the plate? Flam's been in and out of the zone throughout this inning.
One of the hardest things to do as a pinch hitter is to be patient, because you're ready to take that swing and get the juices going.
Fashes at third, Howes at second, Powers at first. There's your base runners. Bags full, bottom of the 8th. The 1-0 to Sage. Way outside, 2-0.
Well, now you may be thinking about taking a pitch. Flam hasn't been close on the first 2. He's clearly having trouble finding his release point right now.
Nostra doing some good work behind the plate on that wide pitch from Flam. 2-0. Way outside again with a fastball. 3-0. Definitely taking here, Scott.
And you might take 2.
I am squeezing that ball a little tighter. Trying to find the grip that'll deliver a strike. Johnny Sage won't need the bat for this pitch. Bases loaded. 3-0 pitch. Ball 4, and Purdue takes the lead. A bases loaded walk to the pinch hitter Johnny Sage, and it's 4-3 Boilermakers.
Flam missing to the arm side. He continues to miss on this 3-0 pitch. Nostra does his best job to frame it, but that's just too far out. Sage will get the RBI. Purdue's up a run.
So now Cole McKenzie, the top of the order. And the first pitch, a strike. You knew McKenzie was taking there until Flam showed he could throw a strike. Now 0-1. What's the approach for Cole McKenzie?
Let her rip.
Bases loaded. Boilermakers back on top, 4-3. Howe at third, Powers at second, Sage at first, and Flam misses upstairs again with a fastball, 1-1.
Well, Flam's consistently missing to that arm side. He's flying open a bit. And when you can't stay closed, that arm lags behind, and the result is a pitch just like that.
1 ball, 1 strike. That's fouled away, 1-2 now. On Cole McKenzie.
Flam stayed on line there, and when he did, that's a pretty good pitch. 90 miles an hour up.
Probably we'll see Bo Hofstra on the mound now for Purdue in the ninth. The closer with 6 saves this year and a sparkling 1.53 earned run average. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Off speed, Colt, strike 3. Terrific pitch by Lane Flam, but the bases loaded walk gives Purdue the lead after 8. Now you'll see Bo Hofstra. 23rd appearance for the closer for Purdue. 2-2 record, 1.53 earned run average. He's an exciting right-hander, Scott.
Well, he's got a power arm. He can run it up into the mid-90s. He's got a breaker to go with it, but it's just electric. He gets a high spin rate, which carries the ball through the zone and makes it very difficult on anybody getting against him.
For save number 7, he'll have to go through Altenberger, Franzoni, and Hausinger. 6, 7, 8 in the Xavier lineup, and this Xavier lineup's been heating up of late. Last 2 innings, 3 runs, 5 hits after no runs and 2 hits in the first 6. First pitch to Altenberger, in for a strike. Tyler Powers is over at shortstop now, and a substitute at third base as that one's flared foul and out of play. Owen Jansen is the new third baseman. So we've seen plenty of changes over the last few innings for Purdue. Defense is Beam, Hunter, and Nissel from left to right in the outfield. Jansen is at third, Powers at short, Howe at second, McKenzie at first, and Fascia behind the plate. The 0-2 to Altenberger. 1-2 now. After the 91-mile-an-hour fastball misses wide. Four 4-3 Purdue, top of the 9th inning. One-two pitch. On the ground to the left side. Challenge for Powers at short, who throws low. Good pick by McKenzie at first. Some guys in new spots making a good play to start off the 9th inning. 1 down.
The center fielder, number 13.
Well, nice job by Altenberger to make contact on this pitch. He hits it hard, and then Powers stumbles a bit, but makes the play. Purdue defense comes through, 1 out in the 9th.
And a big first out as Luke Franzoni steps in. He's 1 for 3 with a double. And the first pitch, fastball at the knees for a strike. At 93 on the gun from Bo Hofstra.
Yeah, he can run it up there, and he's starting to get loose now.
No balls and a strike. Fouled back, 0-2, 94 on the fastball.
Use that big frame and that leverage, and he generates some torque coming down that mound, which results in that arm speed.
A little different than what Xavier's seen tonight on the hill. Can't be easy to adjust up to that in the 9th inning. Two strikes on Franzoni. Able to get a piece and foul it back. A 4-3 lead for Purdue. A bases loaded walk in the 8th, giving the Boilermakers the lead. The 0-2 pitch. Fastball up and away. Franzoni able to lay off, 1-2. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Fastball got him. 2 down in the 9th. And the last hope for Xavier is Jack Hausinger after this fastball.
Fastball is Hofstra's best pitch, and he goes right back to it with 2 strikes. This one elevated and carry through the zone.
2 down in the 9th. Jack Hausinger, the last hope. 1 for 3 with an RBI this evening. Came up with a big base hit in the 7th. First pitch, strike. Fastball again from Bo Hofstra. One and one the count on the lefty Hausinger. Purdue with Ohio State this weekend, and the Boilermakers trying to get some wins this weekend and keep their faint hopes of a Big Ten tournament berth alive. Here's the 1-1. Overpowered him there, 1-2.
The ball just seems to explode once it gets around the plate, and Hofstra is 1 strike away from nailing this one down for the Boilers.
Not much to doubt with Hofstra. Just a pure country hardball right now. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Hofstra fans Hausinger, and Hofstra slams the door on Xavier as Purdue gets the 4-3 win over the Musketeers.